Audio Jungle.
This is the Russia and CIS broadcasting channel, and I'm Grace, and this is Haley. Due to the economy, our broadcasting channel was shut down, but now it's back up. So here's a little update with Russia. The population is 14.25 million, and the birth rate is 10.94 births per 1,000 people, and the death rate is 16.0 deaths per 1,000 people. And how's the CIS doing, Haley?
Well, the population is now at 44,854,065 since 2011 ended, and the birth rate is 9.59 births per 1,000 people, and the death rate is 15.76 deaths per 1,000 people. And recently, there's been the Russian election for president, and now off to Kevin for more information on that.
Thanks, Haley. I'm coming to you live in front of Russia's nicest pond. And I'm here to update you on Russian election. Putin just got reelected as the president of Russia recently, and people think that it was not the right choice for Putin to get reelected as Russia's president because they think that a lot of fake ballots were in the vote box. So they're protesting in front of government building. So they can. Let's see what the public thinks about Putin being a president. About Putin being a president.
Well, I think that's a really bad idea. Putin is very corrupt, and he abuses his power, and I think there are much better choices for president.
Think about how Putin became president of Russia.
I'm very mad. I don't think anyone who cheated their way into office should be president of our country.
People are frustrated about how Putin became president of Russia. Back to you, Grace.
Thanks, Kevin. And now with more news on NATO and Russia's missile crisis, here's Alex.
The ballistic missiles are... The Russian thinks that the ballistic missiles are a threat against them because they're located too closely to Russia. U.S. says that U.S. and NATO says that they're not going to shoot any missiles against Russia to cause any war, but Russia has suspicions on them. One of them is located in Poland, which is really close to Kremlingrad, the other side of the continent, which is really close to Russia. So Russia is really crazy about it and thinks that the missile's gonna go on top of the land, of their country, to blow Russia up, but U.S. says they're not. So U.S. should meet up with Russia to get an exact agreement not to bomb each other. NATO recently had a meeting with Russia in Chicago about ballistic missile defense system in Europe. So if anything happens, they let each other know.
Thanks, Alex. And now for more news on the economic status of the Ukraine and its reforms to get back on track. Now we'll go off to Kevin.
I'm at Ukraine right now, and there's a soccer atmosphere right now because England and Ukraine is playing soccer, and everyone's excited for the soccer game. And also NATO and Ukraine is, but there's a bigger problem than the soccer game because NATO and Ukraine is having trouble passing the reform, which this caused like big problem with the economy issues. Ukraine is trying to pass a reform because they're trying to fix the economy problems, but there's a lot of people who are against it, and there's a lot of problems going on. So that's one of the biggest problem right now going in Ukraine. And also there's another problem, that racist problem going on, that Ukrainian people is racist against a lot of foreigners, which cause foreigners in the country to be really offended, flee. Many things are going on, and also people who's from other country, they're like not coming to Ukraine because it's going crazy right now, and also thing is that Ukraine is not well-known country and very poor because Ukraine is like most unknown country in Europe, and also like one of the really poor countries. So Ukraine right now is just having a serious problems, which is very bad for the country, and also which needs to get better. So right now Ukraine really needs to change, or it's going to have a serious problem. And also about the soccer game, go Ukraine.
This is the concluding segment of the show, and is to catch you up on how Russia and the CIS are doing now, after the fall of the Soviet Union. But first, I'll remind you on the reasons why the USSR collapsed. The Soviet Union was made up of many countries that were occupied during World War II. These include countries like Ukraine, Latvia, Lithuania, not to mention Soviet-controlled Eastern Europe such as East Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, Albania, Hungary, etc. When many of these countries declared independence, the Soviet leaders, like Gorbachev, simply did not have the will or the money to keep them from doing so. When Russia declared independence from the Soviet Union, Gorbachev became a governor without a state. The USSR also collapsed for several other reasons. Too much central power over too many local geographic social areas, for one. Two, they had an unsustainable foreign policy. Ultimately, it was their invasion of Afghanistan that led to financial ruin. 3, government was way too involved in social and economic life. Communism has proven not to be the best political system for a country, and that's almost another reason why the Soviet Union fell. Russia alone now, socially, isn't doing too well with foreign countries, especially the US. But now they're coming to some agreements and working together as allies. Economically, they're doing extremely well with their GDP as the 10th highest in the world as of 2010, and they've only gone up since. And politically, although some people don't like Putin as president, some people do, but the fact that he won by a landslide is causing protests, and it was just unfair. So that's politically. Overall, Russia's getting better since the collapse of the Soviet Union, but not necessarily so great compared to other countries. But onto the CIS. Economically, authorities economically, they're not doing too well at all. Authorities in most CIS countries have supported the economic recovery by cutting interest rates and implementing fiscal stimulus measures, which is helping, but not by much. Socially, it's okay. Every country is fighting, or not fighting, but arguing with another country, and it goes back to for many years before. Politically, most countries are happy with their leaders, or at least they're content. No revolutions or anything are going on. Nothing major has happened except for the oil crisis. They did not know who was claiming what or what money where they were selling it to, but all of it has been resolved. Overall, they seem to be remaining steady on a straight path, but that path isn't necessarily the best. But that concludes this segment, and thank you for listening.
Thanks for watching Russia and the CIS Broadcasting Channel.
This beautiful grass. Beautiful leaves.
Start talking about the Ukraine.
Oh. So, here's this. I'm a Ukrainian, and I'm passing this law to NATO. Tornado. Woo! And they passed it, and the economy got better. Happy ending. Just kidding. It didn't get better. Actually, it's in a process. Okay,
Okay.
like we don't know. It's like 50-50 chance.